So we found out that the Savages has won the game against Leviathan 2-1, and we're going to go right into the grand finals as there is no stream for the third place match. So it's going to be Synergy versus Savages. Right off the bat, we're going to be watching Resbit's perspective again. Amazingly great sniper. I'm excited to watch him again. And they're going to be playing game 1, Salt Spray Rig, which is probably my favorite Rainmaker mode just because of how insane that map is.
Yeah, it's really a wacky map. And, you know, a lot of people don't like Salt Spray. And if they're talking about splat zones, I'll let them give their opinion. But when it comes to the other game type, Salt Spray is actually a really fun map. Now, aside from the unfortunate mirrored symmetry as opposed to flip symmetry, where one team can kind of like peek on the right side compared to the other team that can't, it's debatable how much of an advantage that actually makes. The game, ignoring that little imbalance on Alpha Team and Bravo Team, the non-splat zone game types in this map are just wildly different from splat zones, and they're both really, really cool. So I think what's almost is pretty unique to Rainmaker Salt Spray is, unlike other maps where if you want to take the Rainmaker from one side of the map to the other, you have to take it in a straight line through the center of the map, through all the obstacles, through all the normally controlled areas. And Rainmaker on this map, the map's kind of like a horseshoe, where the line between two bases goes like across the horseshoe and not around. So you kind of can go underneath the middle of the map to quickly take the Rainmaker from one side to the other. However, control of the middle of the map makes that difficult to do for the enemy team. So you kind of see these balanced approaches of trying to control the Rainmaker in the middle of the map versus trying to control the map on the outside of the map. And how does that convert into pushes? Because like we were talking about before, this game is about your best push and getting one good push in that wins the game, as opposed to like slowly racking up Rainmaker time.
Yeah. Another thing I like to point out in particular with Rainmaker Salt Spray is that killer whales are incredibly good on this map. If you get a killer whale and put it in your own base, into the enemy's base, it makes it very easy to get up that ramp to basically clinch a victory. It's all about getting onto the enemy team's platforms in this Rainmaker situation. Getting it anywhere from the midpoints and onwards is fairly easy to do, but once to try and get it up to that platform is one of the hardest Rainmaker pushes you have to make in your life, and killer whales alleviate that pressure a ton. Not a lot of people do it, but it's very
No,
good.
I definitely agree. I think also if you have double whale on this map and you actually get the push off, if you kind of make like a Venn diagram of whales into the enemy base, you pretty much like have like a free push to like 10. It's crazy. If you can actually get the Rainmaker up on their plat and then have two whales just kind of like make them sit down and wait a second, you can get a crazy lead out of this map. But again, being able to just brute force your way onto the platform with invincibility specials is good too. This map is all about control converting into a big push, so we're going to see that here as we start up.
Yeah, so one thing I like to point out is that I don't know if I completely agree with the splat lane decision. I know Resbit does play splat lanes proficiently, nothing against that, but I just think that like any charger on this map is incredibly strong, because you can sit in your base, be completely safe, and no one has to protect you. It's basically just free kills on defense, and you can be very strong on offense, providing a killer whale from your base. Like, there's no movement involved. It's a very, very strong weapon. Yeah, and Resbit going down in that first push. Looks like the Savages are going to make that initial push out of the mid zone.
Yeah, and maybe if we can come back and analyze the weapon choice a little bit later, maybe Remix with Splatling might be a better choice than Heavy, but this is what we're doing. So we're going to see a 3v2 situation for Synergy. They were able to kind of deflect that initial push. No big points were gained, and we're going to see Synergy try to take the Rainmaker up to the top of the map, and they're going to opt to control the outside of the map as opposed to push the Rainmaker into the middle. And we'll see if they're able to convert that into a Rainmaker push into the enemy base.
So, Synergy's playing this a little bit differently than most teams play. And most teams like to push it to that bottom plat area and just kind of try and brute force it. It looks like Synergy is trying to play it very safe, painting the zone as they advance and not trying to make any insane pushes, just so they can get control back on that top area and control that whole mid before they do anything crazy to get into that base. It's very interesting play. It's not the norm to play like this in this type of map mode.
Yeah, and one of the reasons that you don't see that too often, going all the way around the outside, is if your push fails, you put the Rainmaker in a very easy spot for the enemy team to control and push however they see fit. So hopefully this doesn't come back to punish Synergy for going for a strategy that might not be the smartest. But it looks like they are able to overcome that obstacle. They are able to get the Rainmaker close to the enemy base. We have a 3v3 situation. Kraken's going off. Players dying on the Savages right now. And Synergy has some paint in the enemy base. The Rainmaker's going up into the enemy base. And I think they're going to be able to put some decent points on the board. While they are stopped at 29.
They get that nice airstrike out just to stop the push. But Sorapol's now up there. Oh no, he gets taken out by the Rainmaker pop. Pretty unfortunate. Savages do a nice job of stopping that push. That could have easily have been a dunk. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be back into a neutral game. Resbit the only one being up.
Yeah, about half the timer left on the clock. So if we can take 2 minutes and 30 seconds, the time it takes to make a big push, either team could make a push that's better than 29. So definitely keep an eye out for how the Savages goes back and takes map control. Because again, well, I guess both Synergy and the Savages are both teams that are kind of known for having really devastating single pushes, which is why they do so well. Like we talked about, this game is all about that one big push. So let's see if anything can be converted. Resbit unfortunately forced to use his Kraken. Not on the objective at all, which is a little bit unfortunate. And now he has to run away from this Blaster.
So it looks like Resbit understands that they're in an offensive position and doesn't really need to go too far and just keep that mid controlled. I think the reasoning for the Splatning choice at the beginning is mostly just to make sure he can keep zone coverage for his team while they push out and get the kills. Playing a very supportive style role with his Splatling as opposed to what the E-leader would be, where he'd be kind of like hunting for the kills and stops, you know?
Yeah, really smart of Resbit to jump back to the base. He's going to go ahead and reset the Rainmaker as well. One problem that can happen is if your team gets split up top mid while the enemy's pushing into your base, you are so far away and unable to help. So it was really smart of Resbit to jump back to his base ahead of time, get the Rainmaker, play it off the map. He had used Kraken recently anyway. He didn't have the most meter, and unlike some other weapons, it's not a heavy depletion weapon. So he's going to just make sure that Synergy can be stable. They have this pretty comfortable lead, and there's about a minute left in the game. So I think that was a really good play by Synergy to stop points from happening for the enemy and just kind of stall out the rest of the clock.
Yeah, so another thing I like to point out is that, like we said, Resbit is typically a sniper main, but his strength comes more in his decision-making. Like you said, jumping back, he's always in the right positions to do what's the best choice for his team. Mostly, he doesn't just play weapons, he knows how to play the maps very well, regardless of what weapon he plays. And that is definitely a strength to have as Resbit on your team. And a lot of the reason why Synergy itself just does so well in these tournaments.
Yeah, definitely. And unfortunately for the Savages, it looks like we had a member of the enemy of the Savages try to go for a push that wasn't really well constructed. You know, that no one was covering this platform where Resbit was standing, and he was able to just kind of kill the person going for the Rainmaker, get a little momentum going for Synergy, and I think that is going to be it. You know, there is potential for the game not to be over, but
no. Then with that Kraken push, that is definitely the game. So that's what I like to call two things. That is called the stress push. Like, you know you're losing and you feel like you're...
Yeah.
I don't want to say you don't have faith in your team, but you're
a little desperate to get the lead.
You feel like you're the one who needs to put all the pressure on himself to get that win. So you try and go out of your way to do it before thinking about what you can do as a team. It's like that pressure push. And the second thing I like to call it is what we've all dubbed it as the objective at 30 seconds. When that timer hits 30 seconds, everyone goes panicking and says, oh my God, we haven't made a push. We need to make this push, and there's only 30 seconds left to do it. So everyone starts playing objective the way that they should have been playing objective in the first 4 minutes. I mean, it's a typical psychology game. You know, it has nothing to do with whether the players are better or not. It just has to do with the pressure being on you of the time running down. But exciting nonetheless. The objective. I
just want to double check the timer right now. I'm at 47, 46,
42, 43, 42, 40. Yeah, I'm in sync with Blake basically.
Get that hot refresh Hitzel. In the meantime, we kind of mentioned this earlier with Salt Spray Rig on, even though it's probably a medium-sized map, due to the nature of how Rainmaker is set up, it kind of plays as like a very small map. Very much like on how... 20. Yep, right on the mark. Very much on how Black Belly Skate Park is. This, I think, is the smallest map for Rainmaker. Pretty much getting the tower and then hopping off the tower is like a 50% push.
So for this map in particular, the pop is almost one of the most important things in this because it's so fast. Another thing is you can't be too far spread apart because that could cost you the match if someone just pushes up mid just a little bit too far and you're not in the base. Everyone has to be really much a unit. A lot of the time on this map in particular, people like going through the enemy team's half pipe where Resbit is currently going to. Because it's a nice diversion. Everyone tries to push it through the mid, so going through half pipe sometimes is actually what some people need. It also gives you more points. It's a longer way to get through to the mid area, but you gain points faster going through that half pipe area. Once you get out, you gain a lot of points.
Yeah, it's kind of like an all or nothing strategy where if you don't actually get the full push, it can be kind of bad because you literally get like no points and you kind of lose map control. But if it works, you all of a sudden jump up to a really comfortable lead into an area where it's really easy to push from. So it's either do you take the gradual push through the middle of the map that you can kind of hammer in the lead, or do you go for like the insta win going on the outside of the map. Most teams tend to go for the gradual push because it can get them not as comfortable a lead and it's a little bit more consistent. But of
it's
course,
also just safer. Like I said before, if you have like one teammate that just happens to not be in the section that you're in, that is game over.
And that is a wipe.
Speaking of game over, yeah, there's a wipe on Black Belly Rainmaker, so let's see how that converts.
So this is probably going to be a strong push. Like we said before, Synergy knows what to do when they get a wipe. As you can see, Sorapol pushing up to that back maze, getting a trade,
already getting a
and getting another kid.
Lead.
That's 2 wipes. That's definitely going to be game for Synergy. Oh no, they get taken out at the last 10 seconds. Oh my god.
Not quite over yet. There is a whale up.
Yeah, this is totally possible to be knocked out by either team. Of course, this is a map that a push can just happen so easily. The Rainmaker is so easy to push the points, or it doesn't take very long to actually swim to get them. So with 3 minutes left in the game, this could go either way, but we see Synergy right now having a very devastating amount of map control right now. Resbit is just top mid with a splat lane, just keeping everything painted. He has close range weapons up into the enemy base. The Rainmaker tries to go left. There's Synergy members left. Oh, but as I say that, looks like Savage Hachi's going to go ahead and get a really nice Izuka shot off into the middle of the map with that carbon roller, and the Rainmaker is going to go into a semi-neutral position. If Savages can continue to get those picks and kind of push out, they might be able to reestablish some semblance of map control here.
Yeah, what I'd like to say right now is that a lot of people assume that since it's at this 10 mark, people think Synergy definitely have this in the bag, but that is not the case at all on Black Belly Rainmaker. This map is only over when someone gets a knockout. This can go both ways so fast regardless of the outcome, even if Synergy is dominating the lead. It is just an incredibly volatile map.
A 10-point lead on this map is like a 40-point lead on every other Rainmaker map.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? I think it's actually kind of funny. If you look at the way Splat Zone plays on this map, it's actually a pretty slow pace game. There are 2 small zones. It's really easy to, even if you don't have full control, to stop the enemy from getting points. A lot of times Black Belly splat zones will go to the timer, whereas Black Belly Rainmaker is like the exact opposite of that. It's just complete chaos sometimes. A bunch of quick respawn players all just kind of like rubbing their face up against the objective. And speaking of the objective, it is back in the Savage's base, and unfortunately Sorapol is going to get taken out, but that means more map control for Synergy.
Yeah, more time down, more time that they have to pop it. Oh, Resbit gets 1 kill, and they pop it to get more ink coverage. This is looking really good. 2 people down right now for the Savages.
Yeah, and even if they're able to kind of take that Rainmaker in the half pipe, yep, there we go. See, the Rainmaker is going to get kind of snubbed out right there. It seems like every little bit of an attempt of the Savages to actually get some map control is just met with like the perfect counter from Synergy, and maybe they can. That's close.
And they don't get it. Damn, that was so close. So Savage is still sticking in, but the problem is right now is that Chimera just has so much control in the enemy team's base. Savages can't even really push out of their area. They're basically getting spawn camped at this point.
Yeah, which is like really hard when it comes to getting map control. Now, it looks like the Savages are going to be able to get out of their base, but there's only 40 seconds left, and although, anything can happen on Black Belly, time's ticking. The clock's ticking really quickly right now. About 40 seconds left to go. Synergy has more members up. The Rainmaker gets picked up by Synergy. This is looking more and more like a an impossible situation for the Savages.
Now, one thing I would do as being Synergy just to hold the lead is that I'd make sure to gain at least enough charge so you can get that killer whale. Try not to focus on that kill in the last 18 seconds. The whale will win you the game. A kill will not win you the game in this situation. So Resbit does have the whale, and he decides to use in the last 10 seconds. I'd argue they're probably going to still win, but I'd say that was a bad call overall.
Yeah, they kind of cornered themselves. Fortunately, Synergy was able to outslay, and that is going to be game.
And everyone, congratulations to your grand final winners of the Splatoon Rainmaker Showdown Series powered by Nintendo and Battlefy, the Rainmaker Finals. So Team Synergy is your winners, and they have won, of course, a autographed developer team poster that says that they are the winners of the Rainmaker Finals. So congratulations to Team Synergy, some amazing games played by them, and congratulations to second place The Savages, showing what they're made of, getting that second place win. Like I said before, they have not won the developer prizes at second place, but they do win some Splatoon amiibos, a squid plushie, and also a squid pin and a squid collectible figure for the 4 of them. So congratulations to them. Just a quick update too. I believe the third place match is still being underway, and it looks like Leviathan is up 1-0. The Leviathan winners will win. Leviathan versus Hammer winners will win all the above minus the Splatoon amiibos. So yeah, some great games were played throughout the entire series. I mean, this wasn't just Rainmaker. We've had a Turf War, a Splat Zones, a Tower Control, and a Rainmaker series that's been running throughout the entire month, and we couldn't be happier that Nintendo has allowed us to play in these tournaments and really show what kind of competition are and how deep the strategy is involved in this game.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it before on the stream, but Splatoon does a really good job of being a fun game for casual players and low-level players, and being a very interesting, competitive, and fun game for the more advanced power users out there. And we're really grateful Nintendo has kind of like noticed us and has given us a chance to kind of show that we have like a skilled, fun community here. And I think that although we had some connection problems the very last stream that we did here, I think that overall we saw a lot of high-level play, a lot of interesting stuff. We even got to see some Turf War being played, and I'm really happy with the results, so thank you guys.
Yeah, so we're going to wrap this up. I'd just like to say thank you, everyone, for watching Splatoon and the Showdown series itself. Today, I am CryptikSpoon, and I was the commentator for today. You can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/CryptikSpoon. You can also follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/CryptikSpoon. Also, we have my co-commentator, Bleck, and also one of my partners in this community that helps me out with tournaments and also organizes tournaments with me. That would be Bleck.
Yep, and much like Spoon, you can follow me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all under the same very creative name of BlackSwordD2. So yeah, a lot of good fun. If you want to check out some of our tournament videos, or just come hang out with us whenever we stream, we'll do it nightly. Usually a very colorful commentary from our point of view.
Yep, and now my other co-commentator, Hitzel.
Oh, I mean, I guess I just kind of want to end it off by saying thanks a lot for watching, guys. I really do enjoy playing this game, and I also really do enjoy commentating it. And unfortunately, because I do okay in tournaments, I really don't get to commentate anything, because usually I'm playing until kind of the later rounds. So whenever I am given a chance to come on and commentate, I really do enjoy it. It's really fun. I kind of like lending my personality. I really love this game, and I just love supporting the community. And again, I really appreciate Nintendo giving us some official tournaments to go for. And also I do want to mention again that Don't Park on the Grass is happening the weekend of December 17th. This also is an official Nintendo sanctioned tournament. They've kind of given us a thumbs up, and we're going to be there along with some Smash players. So if you like Splatoon, go ahead and give Splatoon as a game a follow on Twitch. We have tournaments almost every weekend from the community, and then we're also going to have some more officially sanctioned ones, like the one that we're going to see in 2 weeks. So the fun hasn't stopped here.
So like I said, thank you guys all for watching. Now we've all plugged ourselves. I'd like to say thank you. Like I said, this is the Splatoon Showdown series. This was the Rainmaker Finals. This was all brought together by Battlefy. You can go to their website, www.battlefy.com. Take a look at what they can offer to organize tournaments for you. Great website. very, very efficient for organizing your matches, guys. Also by Nintendo themselves. You can follow them on twitter.com/Nintendo of America. Fantastic. Everyone look forward to the Nintendo Switch, guys. Nintendo Switch hype.